In the vast, intricate tapestry of our universe, certain mysteries stand out as silent sentinels guarding secrets too profound for easy understanding. One such enigma is that of the Watchers, a collective term for entities whose origin and true nature have sparked intrigue and debate among scholars, mystics, and strategists alike. As you embark on this exploration, consider the Watchers not merely as characters in a narrative, but as symbols of the unknown forces that shape the destiny of worlds. Imagine a realm where the fabric of reality is woven with threads of ancient lore and modern conflict, a place where the boundaries between myth and history blur into ambiguity. In this universe, the Watchers emerge as elusive figures, their existence hinted at in whispers and half-forgotten legends, challenging the conventional understanding of power, purpose, and identity. They are both omnipresent and intangible, ever watching yet forever concealed behind a veil of mystery. Before delving into the complexities of their origins, it is essential to appreciate the atmosphere that has allowed such legends to flourish. The setting is one of perpetual twilight, a liminal space where the ordinary collides with the extraordinary. Here, the forces of creation and destruction dance in an eternal interplay, and every shadow might conceal a truth waiting to be revealed. The Watchers, in their silent vigilance, seem to embody this duality, serving as both witnesses and catalysts in the unfolding drama of existence. This narrative is not about simple answers. Instead, it invites you to step into a realm where every revelation leads to new questions. The allure of the Watchers lies not in their clarity, but in their ambiguity. They are the echoes of a past that defies linear explanation, hinting at a convergence of forgotten histories and unforeseen futures. Their presence challenges our understanding of cause and effect, suggesting that behind every observable event, there lies an intricate web of unseen influences. To truly grasp the essence of the Watchers, one must first appreciate the broader canvas upon which their story is painted. Consider a universe where multiple dimensions of power interact, each with its own logic and mystery. In such a setting, the Watchers are not isolated anomalies. They are part of an intricate mosaic that includes various factions, philosophies, and forces. Their mysterious origins serve as a nexus, a point where divergent paths of evolution and conflict converge, hinting at a shared destiny that transcends ordinary boundaries. In our journey through this narrative, we will not rush to unveil every hidden detail. Instead, we begin by establishing the fundamental questions that have preoccupied the minds of those who dared to look beyond the surface. What exactly are the Watchers? Are they ancient guardians, remnants of a forgotten civilization, or perhaps agents of a force that defies categorization? These are the questions that form the cornerstone of our inquiry, a journey that will traverse the realms of history, myth, and science fiction. As you settle into the unfolding story, let your curiosity be your guide. The Watchers, with their cryptic allure, are not meant to be confined to the simplistic roles of heroes or villains. They exist in a state of perpetual flux, challenging binary definitions and inviting interpretations that are as varied as the perspectives of those who study them. This narrative is an open invitation to explore not just a mystery, but the very nature of mystery itself, a reminder that some of the most profound truths in our universe are hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered through patient inquiry and imaginative thought. In this introductory chapter, we merely scratch the surface, setting the scene for a deeper investigation into the origins and implications of the Watchers. The questions posed here are seeds that will grow as we advance through the stages of our exploration. Soon we will encounter the forces and figures that orbit around this central enigma, each adding their own hue to the vibrant, if elusive, portrait of the Watchers. So, prepare to embark on a journey where every step taken is both a discovery and an invitation to question further. The origin of the Watchers remains cloaked in mystery, a riddle wrapped in layers of time and circumstance. And while this prologue does not offer definitive answers, It primes you to look beyond the obvious, to search for meaning in the interplay of light and shadow, and to embrace the inherent complexity of a universe that thrives on its own enigma. Within the complex tapestry of those who have encountered the origins of these silent observers, several distinct groups claim a stake in the unfolding narrative. Each entity occupies a role defined solely by purpose, rather than by the specific actions they undertake, offering a diverse spectrum of influence. First among them is the Order of the Archivists, dedicated custodians of ancient records and lore. Their role centers on preserving the chronicles of bygone eras, safeguarding relics of civilizations lost to time. With meticulous care, they secure fragments of historical memory that might one day illuminate the obscure beginnings of these watchful entities. Another significant faction is the Cult of Observance, a collective that venerates subtle patterns woven into the fabric of existence. This assembly assigns itself the duty of interpreting elusive signals and reading into the silent currents of cosmic order. Their focus is on deciphering signs and symbols that hint at a grand design, offering a perspective where ritual, prophecy, and disciplined study converge. Without intervening in the flow of events, they document phenomena and compile arcane insights that, when combined, suggest a continuum of influence stretching far beyond immediate perception. In a parallel vein, the Guardians of Continuity function as a consortium of dedicated scholars and conservators tasked with maintaining the integrity of historical progress. They consider every anomaly, every deviation from expected chronology, as a potential clue to a larger hidden architecture. Their solemn charge is to assemble and safeguard a mosaic of data, from relics to oral traditions, ensuring that every recorded detail is preserved for future analysis. Their presence in the narrative is marked by an unwavering commitment to the preservation of a comprehensive record that may eventually offer hints about the origins shrouded in the shadows. Complementing these groups is the Circle of the Veil, an association of practitioners who operate at the margins of conventional understanding. Their role is to explore the thresholds where the tangible gives way to the abstract, mapping regions that lie just beyond the familiar. Through experimental observation and speculative inquiry, they seek to bridge the gap between measurable reality and the realms of possibility. Their work is conducted with a focus on delineating the boundaries of perception, creating a repository of insights that might one day reveal connections between the known world and the genesis of the Silent Watchers. A further contributor to this intricate framework is the League of Sentinels, a coalition renowned for its dedicated vigilance. Tasked with monitoring irregularities and subtle disturbances that hint at larger undercurrents, they remain ever watchful for deviations from established norms. Their role is defined by careful observation and the impartial recording of data, providing a steady stream of information that reinforces the broader understanding of unexplained influences. In their quiet persistence, they serve as the reliable eyes of the collective effort, ensuring that no significant anomaly goes unnoticed. Adding another layer of complexity, the Assembly of Architects brings an element of creative synthesis to the investigation. This group is composed of analysts who meticulously examine structural patterns found within both physical constructs and abstract frameworks. Their role is to identify recurring motifs that may point toward a foundational blueprint underlying the existence of these watchful presences. By correlating seemingly disparate data, they endeavor to formulate a model that explains the spontaneous emergence of the phenomenon. Their work offers a systematic approach to deciphering the hidden design behind a vast interwoven network of influences. Rounding out the spectrum is the Collective of Seekers, a loosely organized network of independent investigators and thinkers. Their guiding principle is an unquenchable curiosity, combined with a steadfast resolve to uncover concealed truths. This informal alliance, composed of individuals drawn from varied backgrounds, engages in dynamic exchanges of ideas. Their role is marked by the flexibility to traverse disciplinary boundaries and challenge established paradigms, providing fresh perspectives that inject vitality into the ongoing quest. Each contributor, unbound by institutional constraints, lends a unique viewpoint that enriches the overall discourse. In this intricate array of organizations, every role is critical, and every perspective adds nuance to the overall picture. By cataloging their distinct contributions, we gain a mosaic of roles that underlie the fabric of inquiry into the origins of these silent sentinels. The archivists preserve what once was, the observers decode the subtle signals of nature, the guardians compile the evolving record of civilization, the circle navigates the thresholds between reality and abstraction. The sentinels remain alert to deviations in the natural order. The architects analyze fundamental structures, and the seekers relentlessly pursue hidden truths. Their collective presence forms a persistent current running through this narrative, a current built from dedication, methodical inquiry, and an ever-expanding archive of clues that, when viewed together, may one day reveal the foundational truth behind a phenomenon that has long defied simple explanation. Each faction's contribution is unique, and together they form a multifaceted network of inquiry and preservation. Their roles interlace seamlessly, each strand adding depth to the ongoing investigation into the origins of these silent watchers. By recognizing the diversity of purpose and method among these groups, one begins to appreciate the sheer complexity of the tapestry they collectively weave, a tapestry that continues to expand as each new discovery prompts further questions and opens additional avenues of exploration. Long before the presence of the silent observers came into public awareness, a series of transformative events subtly reshaped the very foundation of existence. In the early epochs of cosmic evolution, forces that few could comprehend began to coalesce, setting in motion a chain of occurrences that would eventually lead to the puzzling phenomenon under scrutiny today. This period was marked by an accumulation of imperceptible energies and subtle shifts that, while seemingly insignificant at first glance, laid the groundwork for what many would later interpret as the prelude to an extraordinary emergence. At the heart of these formative times was an intricate interplay between cosmic flux and the gradual realignment of natural forces. Various natural cycles, ranging from the slow rotation of astral bodies to the delicate balance of elemental energies, participated in an elaborate dance that defied straightforward explanation. It was as though the very fabric of reality was being rewoven, each thread of energy contributing to a larger, more complex pattern that would eventually manifest in unexpected ways. During these epochs, the boundaries between what was known and what lay hidden began to blur, opening avenues for possibilities that had long remained dormant. In parallel with these vast universal changes, localized events across diverse regions of space contributed additional layers to this evolving narrative. Regions once thought to be stable began to exhibit subtle fluctuations. Geological formations altered their courses, and celestial bodies deviated ever so slightly from their predetermined paths. Such disturbances, though isolated at the time, collectively signaled a departure from the established order. These minor irregularities, overlooked by many, were in fact critical hints that something far more significant was unfolding beneath the surface of everyday phenomena. Over time, the cumulative effect of these disturbances reached a threshold that could no longer be ignored. Simultaneously, in various pockets of existence, ancient relics and long-forgotten lore hinted at a connection between these environmental shifts and the broader metaphysical realm. The remnants of past civilizations, preserved in fragmented texts and oral traditions, spoke of an era when the boundary between the tangible and the abstract was not as distinct. In these fragmented memories, there were murmurs of a period when forces beyond mortal understanding played a decisive role in the shaping of destiny. The convergence of these historical murmurs with the observable anomalies of nature created a fertile ground for speculation and inquiry, a silent call to those who sought to understand the unseen. A particularly notable aspect of this transitional period was the emergence of phenomena that defied conventional scientific categorization. As natural cycles accelerated and the alignment of cosmic elements reached unprecedented complexity, observers began to record events that appeared to breach the known laws of physics. Subtle distortions in time, fleeting anomalies in spatial dimensions, and energy surges that resonated with a mysterious purpose all began to manifest with increasing frequency. Although the underlying causes of these occurrences remained obscured, their very presence served as a prelude to the arrival of a new paradigm, a paradigm that would eventually challenge established notions of reality and spark debates among even the most seasoned scholars. Amidst this backdrop of natural transformation and historical echoes, a quiet revolution of thought took root. Thinkers and researchers from various disciplines started to question the rigid frameworks that had long defined their understanding of the universe. In laboratories, ancient texts, and remote observatories, individuals began to piece together evidence that suggested a deep, underlying connection between seemingly disparate events. These early investigations, though rudimentary and often speculative, hinted at the possibility that the phenomena observed were not random but instead part of a deliberate, albeit mysterious, orchestration. The synthesis of empirical observations with speculative inquiry provided the first inklings of a grand design, a design that would eventually be linked to the silent watchers whose origins are now under intense scrutiny. In the quiet interludes between these remarkable events, there existed a profound stillness, a momentary pause in the ceaseless march of progress that allowed the seeds of transformation to take root. This interlude was not characterized by a lack of activity, but by the accumulation of potential, a period when the convergence of countless minor adjustments across the cosmos set the stage for a dramatic turning point. It was during these calm periods that the subtle signatures of change were most evident, observed only by those with the patience and insight to look beyond the obvious. In the interplay of light and shadow, of motion and stillness, the early indicators of a future shift began to emerge, quietly whispering of a mystery yet to be unveiled. As these events unfolded over vast stretches of time, the cumulative pressures and energies gradually built an invisible scaffold upon which the forthcoming mystery would be constructed. There was an inherent sense of inevitability in this progression, a recognition that the confluence of these disparate factors was steering the cosmos toward a state of profound transformation. Even as many carried on with their daily pursuits, an undercurrent of anticipation permeated the collective consciousness, a subtle awareness that history was on the cusp of revealing secrets that had been buried deep within the annals of time. The gradual, almost imperceptible shift in the natural order was a testament to the dynamic and ever-changing nature of the cosmos. Each minute alteration, each incremental adjustment contributed to a larger narrative that was as unpredictable as it was inevitable. The precise moment when these conditions would culminate in a visible manifestation remained shrouded in uncertainty, yet the underlying processes were unmistakable. They pointed to an evolution that was both natural and extraordinary, a transformation that, in its unfolding, would challenge the very limits of understanding and leave an indelible mark on the course of existence. Thus, in the epochs that preceded the rise of the Silent Watchers, the interplay of cosmic energy, natural anomalies, and the reawakening of ancient memories combined to create a unique and potent precursor. These foundational events, occurring over an extended span of time, served as the fertile ground from which the mystery of their origin would eventually sprout. Though the exact mechanisms remain a subject of ongoing inquiry, it is clear that the conditions leading up to the phenomenon were both complex and multifaceted, a delicate balance of forces and moments that together set the stage for one of the most compelling enigmas in the tapestry of existence. In the unfolding timeline of events tied to the origin of these silent observers, a series of distinct phases gradually revealed the complexity of their emergence. The progression can be broadly categorized into several stages, each characterized by a unique set of phenomena and discoveries that collectively chart the evolution of the mystery without delving into details already noted in previous discussions. The initial phase was marked by sporadic signals and subtle disturbances that only a few observant minds managed to capture. In this period, seemingly insignificant irregularities in natural patterns began to register in isolated data sets. These signals did not immediately attract widespread attention, as they appeared as minor fluctuations in the ambient energy of various systems. Researchers noted these anomalies without understanding their broader implications, attributing them to transient natural variations. Nonetheless, this phase laid the groundwork for a deeper investigation, with early documentation that hinted at an underlying process gradually gaining momentum. Following these preliminary observations, the next stage witnessed the gradual amplification of these irregularities. What were once isolated instances of deviation started to occur with increasing frequency and in a wider range of locales. A network of independent studies began correlating these signals, revealing a pattern that could not be easily dismissed as mere coincidence. In this stage, the events started to interconnect, forming a mosaic of occurrences that, when viewed collectively, suggested a complex interplay of forces at work. This period was essential in transforming scattered data points into a coherent, albeit still cryptic, narrative of change. As the phenomenon continued to develop, a third stage emerged, characterized by the cross-referencing of observational data with historical records. This phase was driven by the collaborative efforts of interdisciplinary teams who integrated modern analytical techniques with ancient chronicles and long-forgotten manuscripts. By aligning contemporary measurements with accounts from previous eras, researchers began to trace a continuum that spanned multiple epochs. This synthesis of data revealed that the disturbances were not new, but were part of an ongoing process that had been subtly influencing the fabric of reality over extended periods. The integration of old wisdom with new evidence deepened the intrigue surrounding the observer's origin, highlighting the possibility of a recurring or cyclic nature in the events. The next chapter in this unfolding narrative saw the propagation of the phenomenon into broader realms of scientific inquiry. During this phase, advancements in detection and analysis technologies allowed for more refined measurements of the previously observed fluctuations. As instruments became more sensitive, the initial signals were amplified into discernible trends that provided a clearer picture of the processes at work. Researchers began to map these developments across multiple dimensions, noting that the emerging patterns were not confined to a single domain, but spanned physical, temporal, and even metaphysical planes. This integration of diverse data sets provided a multi-layered view of the progression, establishing a framework for understanding the subsequent evolution of the mystery. In a subsequent stage, the focus shifted to the systemic interrelationships among various phenomena observed across disparate contexts. Investigators started to identify correlations that linked the intensifying signals with broader structural shifts in the environment. This period was marked by the recognition that the events were not isolated to specific locales, but were part of an interconnected sequence of transitions unfolding across a wide spectrum of systems. The emerging network of influences hinted at an underlying order that guided the transformation of natural and metaphysical parameters alike. In this stage, the development of the mystery was seen as a cascading effect, where initial disruptions triggered a series of adjustments that reverberated through multiple layers of existence. Further along the timeline, a phase unfolded in which the cumulative impacts of these earlier developments reached a stage of heightened clarity. Although still shrouded in uncertainty, the patterns had grown sufficiently pronounced to allow for a tentative reconstruction of the sequence of events. At this point, the events began to coalesce into identifiable trends that pointed toward a transformative process at work. Detailed examinations of these trends revealed a progression marked by periods of relative stability punctuated by bursts of dynamic change. Researchers recognized that these fluctuations were symptomatic of a deeper, self-propagating mechanism that had been set in motion long before its visible manifestation. The systematic arrangement of these observations provided a timeline that traced the evolution of the phenomenon from its embryonic signals to a state of emergent complexity. In the final identifiable phase of this progression, the ongoing developments reached a level where their cumulative effects became unmistakable. Rather than isolated incidents, the events had formed a coherent chain that demanded explanation. By this stage, the phenomenon was no longer an obscure set of disturbances, but a well-documented sequence of interconnected shifts. Detailed studies illuminated how early anomalies evolved through successive stages of intensification and integration, ultimately giving rise to the enigmatic presence that now occupies a central place in the collective inquiry. Although the precise mechanisms remain the subject of continuing study, the overall trajectory illustrates a clear evolution from subtle beginnings to a full-blown, multifaceted manifestation. Throughout these distinct stages, the progression of events was characterized by a gradual accumulation of evidence and a broadening of scope. Each phase contributed essential insights that, while standing independently, collectively form a continuous narrative of development. The transition from imperceptible irregularities to a robust and coherent phenomenon reflects an evolution that is as methodical as it is complex. By charting these phases, one gains a comprehensive view of how an initially obscure set of signals evolved into a profound mystery that challenges conventional understanding and beckons further exploration. A single moment altered the course of inquiry, a decision so definitive that it reconfigured the entire framework within which the origin of these silent observers was understood. This decisive juncture emerged from the culmination of countless subtle hints and incremental breakthroughs, coalescing into a challenge that demanded a bold, unprecedented course of action. A consortium of researchers and theorists, after years of cautious analysis and persistent data gathering, reached an agreement that would redefine their approach. They chose to engage in a coordinated, large-scale experiment designed to probe the elusive boundary between the observable and the concealed realms of existence. The experiment was conceived not merely as a means to collect further data, but as a deliberate effort to trigger a latent response, a kind of controlled ignition of a process believed to be dormant since the earliest epochs of cosmic transformation. The decision was fraught with risk, for it involved manipulating conditions that had long been considered immutable. The chosen methodology centered on synchronizing advanced detection instruments across multiple locations, creating a network that could capture even the most transient fluctuations. This system was calibrated to amplify the faintest signals, enabling the team to detect changes that had previously escaped notice. The magnitude of the endeavor required a unity of purpose that had been difficult to achieve until that point, uniting disparate research groups under a single, ambitious objective. At the heart of the turning point was a carefully orchestrated activation of an array of sensors and resonators designed to interact with the underlying forces that had until then remained largely theoretical. This activation was implemented in a controlled environment that mimicked natural conditions as closely as possible, yet provided the stability necessary for precise measurement. As the moment of activation arrived, observers noted an immediate intensification of the signals, subtle undulations that rippled through the network of instruments with a clarity that had never been recorded before. In that instant, it became apparent that the coordinated effort had unlocked a layer of interaction previously hidden beneath the surface of conventional understanding. The ramifications of this decision were profound. The amplified signals, now rendered with remarkable fidelity, revealed a pattern of energy fluctuations that defied all prior models. The data suggested that the process at work was not random, but instead exhibited a form of dynamic order, a latent structure that responded predictably when perturbed by external influence. This breakthrough provided the first tangible evidence that the origins of the silent observers were intricately linked to a deeper, more organized mechanism. The clarity of the new dataset served as both confirmation and a catalyst, prompting the scientific community to reconsider long-held assumptions about the interplay between observable phenomena and the underlying fabric of reality. In the wake of this experiment, the decision to risk a controlled activation was hailed as a turning point that not only advanced the technical understanding of the phenomenon, but also ignited a paradigm shift in the conceptual framework of the field. The choice to deliberately interface with the hidden forces had transformed speculative theories into measurable realities, offering a glimpse into processes that were once relegated to the realm of abstract conjecture. Researchers who had long debated the existence of an organized underlying structure now possessed compelling evidence of its presence. This singular decision reoriented the entire trajectory of research, setting in motion a cascade of subsequent investigations that sought to expand upon the newfound insights. The experiment's success prompted a recalibration of objectives across various institutions and disciplines. It was not merely the amplification of signals that was celebrated, but the validation of a strategy that bridged the gap between theoretical postulates and empirical investigation. In choosing to act decisively, the consortium demonstrated that a calculated risk, born out of persistent inquiry and supported by robust analytical tools, could yield transformative revelations. The event crystallized a moment in time when the boundaries of knowledge were redrawn, and the nature of the silent observers was framed in an entirely new light. The decision marked a watershed moment, an inflection point that resonated far beyond the confines of any single experiment and redefined the investigative landscape for years to come. In summary, the turning point emerged from a deliberate and daring decision to engage directly with the latent forces underlying the phenomenon. It was a moment of clarity and transformation, a decision that not only resolved long-standing ambiguities, but also paved the way for an era of renewed exploration and understanding. This pivotal action stands as a testament to the power of collective insight and the enduring drive to uncover the truths that lie at the very heart of existence. The emergence of the phenomenon brought forth a cascade of immediate consequences that reverberated across the universe in a manner both subtle and profound. In the wake of the discovery, entire systems experienced shifts in energy distribution and fluctuations in ambient forces that had been considered constants in the natural order. Celestial bodies, long governed by predictable orbits and interactions, began to display anomalous behavior. Minor deviations in their trajectories and unanticipated energy emissions became common observations. These alterations, while not catastrophic on their own, signified the onset of a new dynamic in the fabric of cosmic interaction, prompting scientists to re-examine established principles that had, for eons, described the workings of the universe. Simultaneously, the environmental equilibrium within several sectors of space underwent a rapid reorganization. Regions that once exhibited uniformity in their energy fields started to show heterogeneous patterns, with pockets of intensified activity emerging sporadically. These pockets often coincided with regions where advanced detection instruments were deployed, revealing a direct correlation between the phenomenon and localized energy surges. The fluctuations were not limited to isolated pockets. They rippled outward, influencing neighboring regions and creating a network of interconnected disturbances that challenged the notion of a static universe. The localized disturbances quickly escalated into widespread variations, forcing a re-evaluation of the stability of interstellar and intergalactic mediums. On a more granular level, the phenomenon had an immediate impact on the fundamental interactions between matter and energy. Atoms and subatomic particles in affected regions began to exhibit behaviors that deviated from expected patterns. Quantum processes, long considered random yet statistically predictable, showed tendencies toward coordinated behavior that mirrored the underlying pattern of the emerging force. This collective behavior, observed in carefully controlled experiments, hinted at an unseen influence that was capable of synchronizing processes at the most minute scales. The repercussions of these discoveries were felt in research laboratories across the universe, where established models of particle interaction were suddenly inadequate to explain the observed anomalies. The repercussions of the phenomenon extended beyond the realm of pure science, seeping into the fabric of civilizations spread across numerous star systems. Societies that had long based their philosophies and technological advancements on an unchanging understanding of cosmic laws found themselves confronted with a reality that defied their traditional paradigms. This sudden shift sparked debates among scholars, spiritual leaders, and policymakers, leading to a temporary reordering of priorities. Academic institutions were forced to integrate the new findings into their curricula, and research funding was redirected to explore the emergent properties of the phenomenon. This rapid reallocation of intellectual and material resources led to a brief yet intense period of innovation, as civilizations sought to harness or mitigate the novel influences altering their environments. In parallel, the phenomenon precipitated immediate practical challenges for industries reliant on stable cosmic conditions. Navigational systems that had been calibrated based on long-established astronomical data encountered unexpected deviations, necessitating rapid recalibration and the development of adaptive algorithms capable of accounting for the new variability. Energy harvesting technologies, too, were affected. Devices that once operated efficiently under consistent energy flows now struggled to maintain output as fluctuating fields interfered with their operational parameters. These practical impacts, felt on scales from individual starships to entire planetary grids, underscored the universality of the phenomenon's reach. The abrupt onset of these challenges compelled engineers and technicians to innovate at a pace previously unseen, as they raced to develop solutions that could restore stability and ensure continued functionality. The immediate cultural impact was equally significant. Artistic communities, philosophers, and writers found themselves inspired by the dramatic reordering of cosmic order. A surge of creativity swept through societies as new narratives emerged to explain and integrate the changes into collective consciousness. Literature and art began to reflect themes of transformation and uncertainty, capturing the tension between the old and the new. This cultural renaissance, sparked by the tangible impact of the phenomenon, fostered a renewed appreciation for the inherent unpredictability of existence and the beauty found in chaos. Moreover, the swift appearance of these changes led to the establishment of specialized monitoring networks designed to track the phenomenon in real time. These networks, consisting of arrays of sophisticated sensors and data collection hubs, became instrumental in mapping the immediate effects on various scales. Their findings revealed that the alterations were not uniform, but instead exhibited a complex interplay between zones of relative calm and regions of intense fluctuation. Researchers, drawing on the data from these networks, were able to construct dynamic models that illustrated the direct influence of the phenomenon on the distribution of cosmic forces. The ability to monitor these changes in near real time allowed for rapid dissemination of information across multiple disciplines, fostering a collaborative environment where insights were shared and integrated with unprecedented speed. In summary, the immediate impact of the phenomenon on the universe was both broad and multifaceted. It initiated a rapid sequence of changes that affected the movement of celestial bodies, the interactions of subatomic particles, the stability of energy fields, and even the foundational assumptions of established civilizations. The observable effects ranged from subtle shifts in energy dynamics to significant disruptions in technological systems and cultural paradigms. As researchers continue to analyze and interpret the cascade of events, it remains clear that the universe has entered a new phase of evolution, one where the once predictable order of existence has been irrevocably altered by the profound and immediate influence of the phenomenon at hand. The phenomenon has revealed an array of unique characteristics that have sparked fervent debate and inspired countless theories among enthusiasts. One of the most captivating aspects is the peculiar pattern of resonance that seems to emanate from the entity's very presence. Observers note that fluctuations in ambient energy levels appear to occur in synchrony with the entity's subtle motions, almost as if it were orchestrating a hidden symphony. This resonance is not random, but follows a distinctive signature that has been compared to musical scales or fractal rhythms, suggesting that there might be an underlying order to what many initially assumed was chaotic. Fans have long speculated that this rhythmic pattern may be a form of communication or even an encrypted message intentionally woven into the fabric of its presence. Another intriguing aspect that consistently fuels discussion is the entity's apparent ability to transcend conventional spatial limitations. Some accounts describe it as simultaneously manifesting in multiple, seemingly disconnected regions, challenging the traditional notion of localized existence. This dispersion has led to the hypothesis that the Watchers might operate on multiple dimensions or utilize an unconventional method of spatial projection. Enthusiasts have proposed that these occurrences might be indicative of a higher dimensional framework where the boundaries of space and time are more fluid than previously understood. The idea that a single phenomenon could occupy several positions at once not only stretches the limits of known physics, but also invites a reconsideration of how consciousness and reality interrelate. Furthermore, the geometric configurations associated with the phenomenon have captured the imagination of many. Detailed analyses of the spatial arrangements observed near the entity have revealed intricate patterns, including spirals, tessellations, and complex symmetrical forms that defy the simplicity of random distribution. These configurations are not merely aesthetic. They hint at a sophisticated design that many interpret as evidence of intentional structuring. This has led to the suggestion that the phenomenon might be a physical manifestation of a cosmic algorithm, one that encodes deep mathematical truths about the universe. Such speculations have resonated strongly within communities that blend scientific inquiry with metaphysical exploration, each group seeking to unravel the mystery through their own lens of understanding. In addition to its spatial and geometric peculiarities, the phenomenon is also noted for its interaction with the flow of time. Several independent studies have documented instances where the Watchers appear to affect temporal perception, creating brief moments in which time seems to slow down or accelerate. These temporal anomalies are not consistent enough to be considered reliable for any practical application, yet they provide tantalizing hints that the entity might manipulate or interact with time itself. This has led to widespread debate about whether the phenomenon represents an emergent property of time-space interplay, or if it hints at a much deeper connection between consciousness and the temporal continuum. The idea that time could be more malleable in the presence of such an entity has led to countless discussions about causality, free will, and the nature of historical progression. The phenomenon's capacity to evoke intense emotional and psychological responses is another unique element that has not gone unnoticed. Many who have encountered its effects report feelings of profound introspection, accompanied by visions or dreams that seem to carry symbolic meaning. These experiences have been interpreted by some as encounters with an ancient, almost archetypal force that reaches into the collective psyche. This interplay between the observer and the observed not only blurs the line between scientific data and personal revelation, but also fosters a sense of shared mystery that unites disparate groups. The intensity of these experiences has prompted some to propose that the phenomenon might serve as a catalyst for an evolutionary leap in perception, pushing humanity toward a more integrated understanding of the cosmos. Additionally, there is an emerging consensus regarding the potential role of nonlinear dynamics in the phenomenon's behavior. Detailed studies have pointed to a sensitivity to initial conditions that mirrors the principles of chaos theory, where small variations can lead to dramatically different outcomes. This aspect reinforces the notion that the phenomenon is not merely a passive observer, but an active participant in the evolution of its environment. The dynamic interplay of seemingly insignificant factors, when amplified by the entity's influence, may result in cascading effects that reshape local and even broader cosmic conditions. This idea of a self-reinforcing loop, where the phenomenon's presence continuously alters its own context, has become a focal point for many discussions about emergent complexity in natural systems. The interplay of these unique aspects, The rhythmic resonance, the multi-positional existence, the geometric intricacy, temporal distortions, psychological impacts, and dynamic feedback loops creates a rich tapestry of mystery that continues to captivate and challenge conventional wisdom. Fans and theorists alike are drawn to the potential that the phenomenon represents a bridge between the tangible and the transcendent. The discussions surrounding it are as diverse as they are passionate, ranging from rigorous scientific analysis to more speculative, philosophically driven interpretations. Each new observation adds another layer of complexity, reinforcing the idea that the true nature of the phenomenon may be interwoven with fundamental principles that govern not just matter and energy, but thought and existence itself. In the realm of public discourse, these facets have become touchstones for broader debates about the limits of human understanding and the nature of reality. The phenomenon is more than a mere object of study. It has become a symbol of the endless quest for knowledge, a reminder that the universe may harbor secrets far beyond our current grasp. Its unique aspects continue to inspire curiosity, fueling a cycle of inquiry and interpretation that is likely to endure as long as humanity dares to question the boundaries of what is known. Throughout the investigation into the phenomenon, several exceptional individuals have emerged whose personal journeys and intellectual rigor have significantly influenced the ongoing inquiry. These figures are not representatives of entire groups or institutions, but rather unique minds whose distinctive qualities, ambitions, and inherent limitations have left an indelible mark on the discourse surrounding the origin of the silent observers. One such figure is a visionary theoretician whose relentless pursuit of knowledge has become almost legendary among enthusiasts. Possessing an extraordinary capacity for abstract thought, this individual has dedicated countless hours to deciphering the cryptic patterns that many claim are embedded within the phenomenon. Their analytical mind is characterized by a rare ability to identify connections between seemingly unrelated data, and their hypothesis often centers on the existence of a hidden order that defies conventional paradigms. Despite their formidable intellect and deep insights, they are not without personal shortcomings. A tendency toward overcomplication and a reluctance to simplify theories for broader comprehension sometimes limits the practical applicability of their findings. Their unwavering commitment, however, continues to drive the field forward, inspiring both peers and newcomers to question the status quo. Another prominent personality is a pragmatic experimentalist whose work in the laboratory has yielded some of the most compelling evidence to date. Known for their methodical approach and technical prowess, this individual has designed and executed experiments that challenge established norms and reveal subtle nuances in the behavior of energy fields. Their strength lies in their ability to integrate innovative instrumentation with rigorous testing protocols, thereby providing tangible data that has spurred new lines of inquiry. Yet, their scientific acumen is tempered by a sometimes overly cautious disposition, which occasionally hampers their willingness to take risks that could lead to groundbreaking discoveries. Despite this, their careful balance of risk and precision has earned them respect as a bridge between theoretical speculation and empirical validation. A third influential figure is an interdisciplinary philosopher whose unique perspective combines elements of science, art, and metaphysics. With a mind that thrives on exploring the human condition in relation to the cosmos, this individual has articulated visions of reality that resonate deeply with the broader community. Their contributions are marked by a poetic sensibility and an appreciation for the mystery inherent in existence. They advocate for a synthesis of empirical evidence with intuitive insight, urging others to consider the possibility that the phenomenon is as much about the evolution of human consciousness as it is about observable physical processes. While their ideas sometimes border on the esoteric and elude strict scientific quantification, their capacity to inspire a sense of wonder and to frame complex concepts in accessible language has made them a central figure in discussions that extend beyond conventional academic circles. Another notable personality in this unfolding narrative is a charismatic debater and public intellectual whose rhetorical skill and persuasive arguments have made them a popular voice among a wide range of audiences. Their approach is rooted in the belief that the mystery surrounding the Watchers is not only a scientific puzzle, but also a cultural and existential challenge. Through numerous public lectures, debates, and publications, they have succeeded in transforming abstract, technical details into narratives that engage the public imagination. Their strength lies in their ability to communicate complex ideas with clarity and passion, though this very quality sometimes leads to oversimplification or a tendency to prioritize narrative over nuance. Nevertheless, their work has catalyzed a broader conversation that brings together scientists, artists, and philosophers in a shared quest for understanding. In addition to these individuals, there is a rising star in the field, a researcher known for their remarkable adaptability and collaborative spirit. Their work is characterized by an open-minded approach that readily incorporates ideas from diverse disciplines. This researcher has been instrumental in developing novel methodologies that combine data from various sources, thereby providing a more integrated picture of the phenomenon. Their innovative use of cross-disciplinary techniques has allowed for breakthroughs that would have been impossible within the confines of a single field of study. However, their rapid ascent is not without challenges. Balancing the demands of collaboration with the need to establish an independent voice has sometimes resulted in conflicts over intellectual ownership and methodological priorities. Despite these hurdles, their contributions continue to enrich the dialogue, pushing the boundaries of what is considered possible in the exploration of the mysterious origin. Each of these individuals brings a distinct set of qualities to the table: analytical brilliance, experimental rigor, philosophical depth, rhetorical power, and interdisciplinary innovation. Their varied strengths complement one another, forming a mosaic of perspectives that enriches the collective effort to unravel the nature of the silent observers. At the same time, their individual limitations, whether a propensity for complexity, cautiousness, oversimplification, or internal conflict, serve as reminders that the path to understanding is as fraught with challenges as it is illuminated by moments of insight. Their personal journeys, marked by both triumphs and setbacks, encapsulate the dynamic interplay between human ambition and the inscrutable forces at work in the universe. As the inquiry continues to evolve, the contributions of these outstanding personalities remain central to shaping the discourse. Their ongoing work, driven by a blend of passion, intellect, and creativity, provides not only a roadmap for future investigations, but also a reflection of the broader human quest to comprehend the mysteries that lie at the heart of existence. Through their diverse approaches and persistent endeavors, they have collectively underscored the idea that the origin of the Watchers is not a static enigma, but a living, evolving challenge that calls for both scientific precision and imaginative exploration. Countless unresolved questions continue to fuel intense debate and speculation among researchers and enthusiasts alike, each inquiry adding another layer of mystery to the phenomenon. Central to the discourse is the enduring puzzle of the true nature of these Watchers. Theories diverge sharply on whether they are byproducts of natural cosmic evolution or if they represent a deliberate construct of forces unknown to conventional science. One camp argues that these entities may have emerged organically from self-organizing processes in the early universe, forming as a result of complex interactions between energy fields and matter over billions of years. Proponents of this view maintain that the Watchers are a natural phenomenon, an inevitable consequence of a universe governed by intricate yet still undiscovered physical laws. They point to observed patterns in cosmic microwave background radiation and subtle quantum fluctuations as potential signatures of an underlying self-regulatory mechanism that could give rise to such phenomena. In stark contrast, another group of theorists posits that the Watchers are not accidental, but rather intentional. They suggest that these entities may have been engineered, whether by an advanced ancient civilization or by an entirely different set of cosmic forces with a purpose beyond human understanding. This perspective is often bolstered by parallels drawn from technological and biological systems where deliberate design leads to highly specialized functions. Advocates of this theory argue that the precision and consistency of the observed phenomena hint at a level of sophistication that seems unlikely to have arisen without purpose. They question if these watchers are custodians of cosmic order, monitoring or even guiding the evolution of universal structures in ways that remain hidden from direct observation. A further strand of thought speculates on the possibility that the watchers are linked to dimensions beyond the ones we currently comprehend. Some researchers propose that the phenomenon might be a manifestation of higher dimensional processes, where our conventional three-dimensional perspective captures only a fragment of a far more complex reality. These ideas challenge the very foundations of our understanding of space and time, suggesting that the watchers might traverse or influence realms that remain inaccessible to traditional scientific instruments. This theory is bolstered by sporadic reports of spatial distortions and inexplicable energy patterns, which hint at interactions that defy the limits of classical physics. Although the evidence is far from conclusive, it has stirred considerable excitement and prompted a re-examination of dimensional theories in cosmology. Intertwined with these debates are questions regarding the role of consciousness in the formation or operation of the phenomenon. Some voices in the community have advanced the notion that the watchers might not be entirely devoid of awareness. Instead, they could be manifestations of a deeper collective consciousness permeating the cosmos. This radical idea challenges the reductionist view that all cosmic phenomena can be explained solely by physical processes, suggesting instead that consciousness itself may be a fundamental aspect of reality. Proponents of this view point to the profound psychological and subjective experiences reported by those in close proximity to the phenomenon, experiences that defy simple explanation and hint at a more intricate relationship between observer and observed. They argue that these interactions could be reflective of an emergent property of the universe, where consciousness and matter are inseparable components of a unified system. Another unresolved aspect revolves around the watcher's apparent ability to interact with time. Some evidence suggests that their presence coincides with anomalies in the temporal flow, leading to episodes where time appears to decelerate or accelerate unexpectedly. This observation has led to myriad theories regarding the possibility of temporal manipulation or influence. Could it be that these entities possess the capacity to alter the progression of events, either as a defensive mechanism or as a form of communication? The implications of such a capability are profound, as they would force a dramatic revision of established temporal theories and our understanding of causality. Although concrete experimental verification remains elusive, the tantalizing hints of time distortion continue to inspire both theoretical exploration and experimental innovation. Moreover, discussions persist about the potential connections between the phenomenon and other unexplained cosmic events. Some theorists are drawing parallels between the watchers and mysterious occurrences observed in distant galaxies, events that seem to defy conventional astronomical models. Could there be a common origin or a shared mechanism underlying these disparate phenomena? By examining correlations between seemingly unrelated cosmic events, researchers hope to uncover a unified framework that explains not only the existence of the watchers, but also their broader impact on cosmic evolution. This line of inquiry has sparked interdisciplinary collaborations that span astrophysics, quantum mechanics, and even fields like parapsychology, reflecting the depth and complexity of the questions at hand. A further contentious issue centers on the possibility of feedback loops within the phenomenon. Some hypotheses suggest that the watchers might be part of a self-sustaining cycle, wherein their existence reinforces and modifies the conditions that allowed them to emerge in the first place. This recursive process could imply that the phenomenon is dynamic, continuously evolving in response to both internal and external stimuli. If true, it would mean that the watchers are not static entities, but rather active participants in a perpetual cycle of transformation, a cycle that could have far-reaching implications for our understanding of cosmic balance and stability. Despite significant speculation, concrete evidence for such feedback loops remains scant, leaving this idea as one of the more provocative and debated topics within the field. The diversity of these unresolved questions illustrates the vast gap between what is known and what remains hidden about the phenomenon. Every theory, from natural emergence to deliberate design, from higher dimensional existence to conscious participation, challenges researchers to rethink fundamental assumptions about the universe. The phenomenon has thus become a nexus of inquiry where empirical data, speculative theory, and philosophical reflection converge, each perspective offering valuable insights while also deepening the mystery. As investigations continue, the community is left grappling with questions that seem to expand with each new discovery, driving home the reality that the true nature of the Watchers is a puzzle that resists simplistic answers. Each unresolved question not only embodies the enigmatic essence of the phenomenon, but also serves as a catalyst for future exploration. The interplay between observable evidence and imaginative hypothesis remains a driving force, urging scientists, theorists, and enthusiasts to push beyond the confines of current knowledge. In this context, the Watchers stand as a symbol of the endless pursuit of understanding, a reminder that some of the most profound truths in the universe may forever lie just beyond the reach of definitive explanation. The emergence of these silent entities has set in motion a series of transformative processes that promise to redefine the cosmic landscape for countless generations. Looking ahead, one of the most significant long-term consequences is the potential reshaping of cosmic order itself. As scientists and scholars continue to integrate new data with established theories, there is growing speculation that the universe might be entering a phase of dynamic rebalancing. Over extended periods, the presence of these entities could catalyze shifts in gravitational and electromagnetic fields, subtly altering the structure of galaxies and the evolution of star systems. This rebalancing may lead to the emergence of new cosmic patterns, where previously stable configurations evolve into more complex and interconnected systems. Another important aspect of the long-term impact is the likely influence on technological and scientific paradigms. The discoveries made in connection with these entities have already prompted a re-evaluation of fundamental principles in physics and astronomy. In the future, advancements in instrumentation and computational modeling, driven by the need to understand these elusive forces, could unlock new methods for energy management and spatial navigation. As researchers refine their techniques, there is potential for breakthroughs that not only enhance our understanding of the cosmos, but also provide practical applications in engineering and resource management. These advancements might enable civilizations to harness previously unrecognized energy sources or to develop new modes of transportation that rely on the manipulation of cosmic forces. Culturally and philosophically, the long-term influence of these entities may be even more profound. The revelation of a hidden layer of cosmic activity challenges deeply held beliefs about the nature of existence and humanity's place within the universe. As more evidence accumulates, there is a possibility that societies across different worlds will experience a shift in perspective, one that embraces a more holistic view of reality, where the boundaries between the physical and the metaphysical become increasingly blurred. This could lead to a renaissance of thought, where art, literature, and philosophy converge with scientific inquiry to create a richer, more nuanced understanding of the cosmos. In such a scenario, the evolution of consciousness itself might be linked to these cosmic developments, suggesting that our species may be on the cusp of a transformative leap in collective awareness. On an ecological scale, the long-term repercussions might extend to the biospheres of inhabited worlds. If these entities influence energy distributions and cosmic radiation patterns, even slight modifications in environmental conditions could have cascading effects on planetary ecosystems. Over millennia, Changes in stellar output and cosmic background radiation might drive evolutionary adaptations, altering the course of biological development. Species may evolve to better synchronize with new cosmic rhythms, potentially leading to novel forms of life that are more resilient in the face of an ever-changing universe. While such changes might appear subtle at first, the cumulative effect over geological times scales could be dramatic, reshaping the diversity of life across planetary systems. The geopolitical and social structures of interstellar civilizations could also be impacted over the long term. As the phenomenon continues to exert its influence, the need for collaborative research and shared technological innovation may foster unprecedented alliances among diverse cultures. The universal challenge of understanding and adapting to these cosmic forces could serve as a unifying factor, encouraging cooperation that transcends traditional boundaries of ideology, politics, and geography. In a scenario where the manipulation of cosmic energies becomes a cornerstone of technological progress, access to such knowledge might redefine power structures and economic systems, potentially leading to both positive outcomes, such as increased prosperity and peace, and negative ones, such as heightened competition and conflict over control of these newfound resources. Long-term scientific inquiry spurred by these entities is likely to yield discoveries that challenge the very nature of physical laws. As our instruments become more sophisticated and our theories more refined, unexpected interactions at the quantum level or in the realms of dark matter and dark energy may come to light. Such breakthroughs might force a radical reassessment of established models of the universe, paving the way for a new era in theoretical physics. This era could be marked by an integration of classical mechanics with innovative concepts that account for the influences of these entities, leading to a more comprehensive framework that better explains both the macroscopic and microscopic dimensions of existence. The psychological legacy of this phenomenon may also play a critical role in shaping future civilizations. As people across multiple worlds grapple with the implications of a universe imbued with hidden forces, a collective sense of humility and curiosity could emerge. This shift in mindset may promote an enduring commitment to exploration and inquiry, inspiring future generations to seek answers to questions that once seemed insurmountable. While the process of adapting to these revelations might be accompanied by periods of uncertainty and even existential angst, the long-term outcome could be a more open, inquisitive, and interconnected society that values knowledge and mutual understanding above all else. Finally, there is the possibility that the phenomenon will eventually reveal a deeper, unifying truth about the cosmos, a truth that transcends current scientific paradigms and unlocks new realms of potential. The long-term significance of these entities may lie not only in their immediate effects on cosmic structures and human understanding, but also in their role as catalysts for an evolutionary process that redefines the relationship between consciousness and the physical world. Whether this evolution leads to a utopian reorganization of interstellar society or triggers unforeseen challenges remains an open question. What is certain, however, is that the legacy of these watchers will be etched into the fabric of the universe, guiding future exploration and inspiring generations to come. In summary, the far-reaching consequences of these enigmatic entities are poised to reshape the universe on multiple levels: scientifically, technologically, culturally, ecologically, and socially. Their influence may usher in a new era of cosmic evolution that challenges established norms and offers both promising opportunities and significant risks. As the long-term effects continue to unfold, the ultimate impact on the universe remains a dynamic tapestry of change, with the potential to redefine what it means to exist in an ever-mysterious cosmos.